There is a clock inside each of us. For most of human history, its chime was brief. But now, we are living longer than ever before. We have been given the gift of time, and with it, more years spent in the twilight of our lives. More time to stand before the mirror and ask the questions that echo in the quiet moments. Who is this person looking back at me? What was the sum of my days? And when this clock finally stops, what then? We have become experts in the mechanics of aging. We understand the body as a brilliant, intricate machine, and the story our science tells us is one of profound finality. It says the mind, your thoughts, your loves, your memories, is the music of the brain, a symphony of electricity in a 3-pound universe of flesh. And when the brain ceases, the symphony is over. The silence is absolute. We are magnificent machines that one day simply turn off. This is the story of materialism. It is clean, it is logical, and for many, it is the only story that makes sense. But what if it's not the only story being told? What if, at the very edge of life and death, where the machine sputters and fails, there are whispers of something more? Phenomena so strange, so persistent, and so deeply human, they force us to question everything we think we know. Consider the case of a mind lost to the fog of Alzheimer's, a person who has not known their family for a decade, trapped in a world without memory or recognition. The brain, the hardware of the self, is broken. And then, a day or two before death, the impossible happens. The fog lifts. They open their eyes and they are there. They speak their children's names. They share a memory. They say, "I love you." A final lucid farewell, and then they are gone. It is called terminal lucidity, the lights coming on one last time in a house long thought abandoned. If the mind is only the product of a healthy brain, how do we explain this? Where does the self return from? It is a crack in the foundation of our certainty, and it is not the only one. All over the world, from the most advanced cardiac care units to the sites of sudden accidents, people are returning from the brink of death with an extraordinary tale to tell. They speak of leaving their bodies, of watching doctors work to save them from a corner of the ceiling. They describe moving through a tunnel towards a light. A light, they say, is not just bright, but filled with unconditional love. They meet relatives who have passed on, who greet them with peace. Crucially, these are not the ramblings of a dying brain starved of oxygen. The experiences are too structured, too clear. Crucially, some patients have even reported verifiable details of their resuscitation, conversations, and events they could not possibly have known while clinically dead. They are travelers' tales from a country no one is supposed to see and return from. And the journey changes them forever. They come back with no fear of death, but with a profound new reverence for life, for compassion, for connection. They speak not of an ending, but of a homecoming. The whispers continue even after a loved one has passed. A grieving widow suddenly smells her husband's familiar cologne in an empty room. A son, deep in mourning, has a dream of his mother so vivid, so real, she tells him she is okay, and he awakens with a sense of peace that wasn't there before. Are these tricks of a grieving mind, a desperate wish for comfort? Perhaps. But for the millions who experience these after-death communications, they are moments of profound connection that feel undeniably real, providing solace that nothing else can. These events, visions at the end of life, the return of the lucid mind, messages from beyond, and journeys to the light are not proof of an afterlife. Science rightly demands a higher burden of proof, but they are evidence. evidence that our current understanding of consciousness may be incomplete. To dismiss these experiences as mere illusion is to dismiss the most profound moments in many people's lives. It is to tell a dying man that the vision of his wife waiting for him is just a hallucination. It is to tell a grieving family that their loved one's final lucid words were a meaningless neurological fluke. A new approach is emerging, one that calls not for blind faith, but for courageous curiosity. One that asks us to listen to these stories with compassion and to study them with rigor. Because how we treat these mysteries has a direct impact on how we treat the living and the dying. It determines whether we see the end of life as a mechanical failure or as a profound human experience worthy of reverence and wonder. The story of the mind as a machine has given us modern medicine. It has saved countless lives, but it may not be the whole story. The echoes from the edge suggest that consciousness itself is the greatest frontier we have yet to explore. They don't give us a neat answer. They give us a profound and humbling question. Perhaps the end of life is not a wall, but a door. Not a final silence, but a change in the music. And perhaps our greatest scientific and human task is to simply stand at that threshold and listen.